y'all. It's time.
Come on. Let's go. Let's do it.
Rolling on the road
With the doc.
rolling on the road
With Dave.
rolling on the road.
With the doc.
100 shades of diversibility with Dave and Dr. Burton.
All right. That was cool.
Yeah.
Hey, that was nice.
Good afternoon. You are rolling with the Doc and Dave. And today, if you're watching via GRTV 25, it is, can you believe it, November. Oh my gosh, I hate to even say the date. It's the 19th.
Hey, we're supposed to get snow though. Maybe tomorrow night.
Okay,
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Peggy's beginning the show with a lie, Dr. Kimberly. She's beginning the show with a lie. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
And we have been named one of the most trusted resources around a podcast. And so she's trying to ruin this thing for us. But
So I'm getting the boot before I.
There'd be snow.
Yes.
But I think the two of you won't.
But I am so excited today because we are going to talk about invest in ability. And we have with us Miss Peggy Helsel. She is, I'm telling you guys, the guru of raising money, taking a pumpkin and making it into a carriage, taking Cinderella and taking her from a pumpkin. Boy, I mean, just a glamour queen. She can do it. If anyone has ever been in wow, it kind of brings tears to my eyes when I think about it, because all summer long, all I saw were these girls who were playing volleyball, sweaty, musty, cute, ponytails flying all over the place. And about a week ago, it went from that to the most glamorous dining area that I've seen in a long time. It was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And 10 years ago this year, I had an opportunity to find out what Invest in Ability was all about, because I became associated with a Center for Independent Living, and in your area, it may be called a disability network, where they came alongside of me once I had my stroke and I was in a wheelchair, and they said this was going to be it for me, my new life. And they were sending me to disability advocates to teach me how to live my life now as a person with a disability. And then 8 years ago, I became their impact speaker for
Was it 8 years ago?
It was 8 years ago.
Wow.
That I was their impact speaker. And one of these days, we're going to pull that video up where you see my son coming up behind me. Dave loves to tell it how he.
And I was just thinking of that now because we have a different video today, but we will find that other one, folks, because I know it exists.
Where he taps me on the shoulder. I think I had 5 or 6 minutes, to speak. And then at a certain time, he was supposed to come and let me know. And, being military, he thinks that, he's military. So he was standing at parade rest to the side of me. And then he snaps to attention, forward march. Oh, well, hello.
Say hi to Ellen.
Hi. We have a cameo appearance by Ellen.
Did you say hello?
Yeah. Give me the answers. Not like now.
Sorry.
She thought I was being held hostage.
Come to save him.
I sent an email. We sorry, folks, for the digression. We always get bizarre requests for data from our funders, and we got a request that was bizarre, and I just sent it to Ellen, who's our wizard of data and all things cool. And I just said, help. And she thought I needed it right now. So, no, folks, I'm not being held hostage. I'm here having fun. Back to Invest in Ability story, Dr. Kim.
Yes.
But he snaps to attention, forward marches, snaps back to attention, and just gently taps me on my shoulder. And, Dave just thought that was just hilarious.
The whole house came down. Everyone,
Like,
because it
whoop.
was just so, he was so respectful standing there because, he helped his mom come up the ramp. As we like to say, a 1 in 12 ramp is pretty steep. That's legal. It's 100% legal, but it's still very steep. He helped his mom get up the ramp. His mom's giving this awesome, heartfelt, and again, you said at ready, not at attention. He was at ready.
He was standing at parade rest.
Parade ready. And he was just standing there waiting for mom to be done. But then everyone just like paused for a moment, and then everyone just started laughing again, appropriately. Because Dr. Kimberly's like, I get all fired up and I keep going because it's like, I'm just going to say, folks, 4.5 years ago, we started this and Dr. Kimberly's still rolling. She has not. We saw Rudy here a few weeks ago, but he wasn't behind her to tell her to stop. So Dr. Kimberly keeps rolling. 8 years later, we're still hanging out together. 4.5 years rolling on the road. But I digress. Back to invest in ability.
Well, but my question is, did it stop you, Dr. Kimberly, or did you keep going?
I finished my sentence. I want to say thank you to Pat Wembley, who's watching, and Sandra Sanders, who's watching. Thank you so much, Sandra. Shantae Paul, thank you for the love, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Yes, it's been 4 years, 4.5. Now we're almost going into the 5th year. Got some great things coming up on next year, but I'm telling you, just to think back that it's been 10 years since I have been affiliated with Disability Advocates of Kent County. I came as a consumer, and now I'm a roommate.
Not to change the subject, but you should probably broadcast live once from the Purple Palace.
I guess I should, huh? We got to say, hey, Dr. Vertangi is watching from Detroit, Michigan. Oh my goodness. She's doing some great and wonderful things there. She's going to be on a panel coming up on next week. We are so very, very proud of all of the advocacy work that she's doing on the East Side, working with children with autism. So we're really grateful for her. And I've been trying to get some of the folks from the East Side to come over to the West Side and take the tour.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that we have coming up for next year is that folks are going to start coming over and taking the tour and see what it is that we have to offer so that they can be a part of Invest in Ability. Now,
we got a note from Ronnie. Ronnie said he sends his blessings. He misses us here. And he's coming this Friday. We got an event. But yeah, he's saying hi to Miss Ellen as well, because Ellen, who, like I said, the master of technology.
That's great.
So
thank you, Ronnie, for hanging out with us.
Yeah, we have a group of mothers over on the East Side that are supposed to take a trip. Vertaji said that they will. We're gathering them all together to come and see the services that we have over here on the West Side that they could possibly, take back some information back over to the East. And here we go for all you wonderful folks that know for Michigan. Where are we located, Dave?
We're here-ish.
Yep.
And Detroit's over here-ish.
Yes, the only state that can show you with their hand where we live.
And then the Upper Peninsula. There's Ellen's in. Here's the UP. Here's Keweenaw Peninsula.
See?
Folks, this is Michigan, 12 hours away. You can get to Copper Harbor. True story. Maybe 11 hours, but it's a long way and you're still in Michigan.
Yes.
See,
And
but
there will be
You have to
Will
have
be
two
snow
good
up
hands.
there. So
Oh, yeah. So we thank Dave for his two good hands to show you the whole state of Michigan. And Ellen Sinise says, thanks, Ronnie.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
Dave, how did you start the Invest in Ability?
Well, the quick story is in 2006, we celebrated our 25th anniversary. So we had a 25th anniversary dinner down at DeVos Place in a couple sections of the Steelcase Ballroom. Wow, it's hard to believe DeVos Place has been open that long, but it is. But so yeah, and so 2006, and we had a great dinner. And long story short, at the end of the dinner, people said, "What are you going to do for an encore?" And we said, "Encore, this is it." So other nonprofits, of course, have fundraising dinners. So we invented a thing called Invest in Ability because that's what we want to be about. How do we focus on abilities, not disabilities? Not to say, again, disability is real. We don't want to ignore it. However, don't focus on the focus on the ability of people with disabilities. So we started Invest in Ability for a couple, 3-4 years. We were down at Western Michigan University downtown. Downtown Grand Rapids, that is. They have a campus, and they had a really nice venue down there for 150, 200 people. And then we had entertainment those first few years, but then we realized entertainment was good, but it was just an added cost. People didn't come for the entertainment. They were entertained by it. So we're like, oh, people are coming. It's supposed to be a fundraiser. So we invented the impact stories as well as keynote folks. So the impact stories is where we would have like 2 or 3 people come up and talk about different departments. And that's where 8 years ago, Dr. Kimberly came in because we had a staff person who said, well, what if we only had one person who's been helped by 3 different departments? And we're like, really? Who's that person? And they said, well, this lady named Dr. Kimberly. Actually, she wasn't doctor at that time. I think she was just Kimberly Kennedy. And she, as she's told many times, she worked with our veteran peer support person, Trina. She worked with our independent living department, and she worked with our home assessment services, or sometimes internally we call it our OT team. That's the team that does home assessments, helping people stay in their home as long as possible, saving themselves money, living more independently and safely. So Dr. Kimberly was chosen. I'm like, all right, and then Kimberly, do you remember who was the development director at that time? Was it a guy named Pete, or was Jocelyn? Jocelyn was already gone, so it might have been Pete or Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I think.
So Elizabeth, she actually coincidentally, when she left here, she ended up at like 2 stops from here at. Actually, no, she's now at Western Michigan. I'm trying to remember. She went from here to the ballet to Michigan State. So she's at Western Michigan. Shout out to Emily McCarthy. She was our development director for a couple of years. And so anyways,
wow, that seemed like forever ago, because she was at the ballet.
Yep. And so Jocelyn Detloff, who's at Mary Freyberg Hospital, still a great friend and supporter of disability advocates. She was our original development director. She invented Invest in Ability. Then a guy named Pete, then Elizabeth, then Nicole, and then Peggy. So we've only had 5 development directors. Jocelyn started with us around 2000, 2001, but not in development. She kind of evolved in that direction as things work at nonprofits. So that's the quick story. And then we, I don't remember exactly what year, but I know Jocelyn was here. We invented the Invest in Ability Award. But we'll get to that in a second, because we have a video queued up about this year's winner. But back to the impact stories, and that's why Dr. Kimberly was chosen, because it's easy for me to say, oh, we helped this veteran, and aren't we cool? However, if that actual veteran comes, speaks in the first person, and says, yeah, here's where things were, here's how they've helped me, and that is the impact telling that. So that was Dr. Kimberly, because then the next year, because we had so much fun with Dr. Kimberly that year, we had kind of this Tonight Show theme. And
yeah, with Tommy and I.
Yep. So Phil Tower, shout out to Phil Tower, WYCE.com, part of Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Have you ever heard of Grand Rapids Community Media Center, Dr. Kimberly?
I think I might. I get an email from them every week.
GRTV is part of the media center.
Let me know that
this
show is going to be
GRTV.
airing.
So WYCE.com. Phil, longtime radio guy in West Michigan, fantastic supporter of disability advocates. And his wife is part of our investability planning committee now. So they're just a fantastic duo. So anyways, but Phil, who's been our MC for a long time, he was Johnny Carson for us older people, or Jimmy Fallon for the youngsters. He was at his desk. We actually borrowed a desk from Civic Theater and our props. And he interviewed, as part of that night, Dr. Kimberly and Tommy Allen, which again was a hoot and a half.
Oh my.
It was. Tommy Allen's been on the show a couple times. People know Tommy Allen. Let's just say, between the two of them, they have been part of our What's Real and Funny About Disability. Coincidentally, today I got the save the date for
I got mine too.
Laugh Fest. So shameless plug for our friends at Gilda's Club, Laugh Fest 2025. So that's happening next March. We'll talk probably more about that as winter really arrives in Michigan. But anywho, so Tommy and Kimberly had a blast, and the great Tonight Show theme. And that would have been, so this is our 43rd. So that was our 35th anniversary, because that was the night I had the 35 reasons you should support disability advocates.
Yes.
The top 35. So it's kind of like, who needs top 10 when you do top 35? And that was my favorite shenanigan through the years, because people actually believed, people were shocked, petrified. How do I escape? Because Dave has finally cracked, and he's going to give us 35 reasons why we should support disability advocates. And so I had my 35 cards, and people hook, line, and sinker. They were like, oh no, this event will never end. And like I said, after 3 or 4 of them, I dropped all the cards and said, oh, let's go to number 1. And people like, oh my gosh, thank gosh, Dave had me there. And people keep coming back to the event. So we keep having fun, because even today, Peggy and I had a meeting with somebody who was there, and people like our event because it's impactful, it's fun, mission focused. We tell people what we do. We
got to stop for a second. First, we got to say hello to Shayna, who is here from Bel Air, Maryland. And we have David Wickstrom, who's on here from North Carolina, but I think that he may even be out of the country right now. So,
well, Dave Wickstrom, who hangs out in North Carolina but travels all over the United States and probably other parts, he was here in the gym just down the hall for Invest in Ability 2024. He and Dr. Kimberly and we're just going to go there and not go there. But Dave brought up a group of staff at our sister Sill, and they're in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So,
but whose idea was it to have the Legos on the table and to build something.
Oh, well, that's why you have a good planning committee.
That's right. And then
And
it was Ashley, the committee thought of it. And then Ashley, who's part of our team here, just has a wonderful creative mind and really did a great job with that. And we either thought it's going to be a whole bunch of fun or it's not. And it was, people had a blast doing it.
Yep, it was, and people had a ton of fun. And I'm just going to say one of the saddest people at Invest in Ability this year was Dr. Kimberly, because she appropriately, her and her team were very excited about their automatic door they built, some great accessible features. However, I saw somebody build an elevator. So, and the automatic door is awesome. And Dr. Kimberly was like, what? What? So I guess next year we're going to want more Legos and more time.
But okay, so the real truth, before Dave, I can just see him now. Mr. Wickstrom is like, what? So my actual team okay, so let's go back some. Every single table had a container full of Legos, and you had to read what the issue was and create it with the Legos. So my original table, my group, we had Lisa was 73 years old. She likes to go to her hobby store, but she's on a walker and she needs a ramp to get inside, and there's no ramp. So we have Legos to go build a ramp. And the other part about it that I thought was really nice is that if you didn't have enough pieces for $10, you could go and buy a bag and that might have some more pieces in it to create your solve your problem, I guess I should say. So what was really interesting for me was that with my group, their logistics person said, I am so glad that I'm here. And she kind of took over the whole process because she was just going to get this thing right. And then the other piece is that being in a wheelchair, I could look at that and say, okay, you got to remember that it has to attach to stairs because that's what it says, that we got to get a ramp that attaches to these stairs to get inside the building. So just to have her sit there, she just took all the Legos and she was just going to work on this herself. So everybody just kind of started drifting. So I kind of found my way over to the North Carolina table. And I just was like, okay, they did a really good job. I like theirs better. So I just took a picture. I said, look what we did. Because zero-step entrance was the issue that I had. And that was one of the things that when I moved into my new home, shout out to 68 West, who worked with them to make sure that I could get in and out. I was like, oh, this is perfect for me, being in a wheelchair. And of course, a person in a wheelchair is the one who sat and did all the work, Dave Wickstrom, not him. Okay. His guy in the wheelchair actually came up with it and the way it looked. And I was like, this really works. And so I was running behind Peggy, look, I got a video.
It added fun to the evening, I think, for everybody. And I had not thought of it, but it kind of was a nice icebreaker. You know, if you were sitting at a table, you didn't know everybody, then there's something to do and something to talk about instead of just, quietly waiting for dinner to be delivered or whatever. So it was a winner.
Ask Chris Rivera, the guy in the wheelchair.
Well, it's funny.
See what Dave. Well, hello, Dave.
Well, and I have to, because Dave just sent me some photos. So we're going to go to screen share as a quick digression here, because again, we had such a cool group of folk from North Carolina. And
hello, Imani Belt. Can you please tell us where you are watching from? Okay, at the stage.
Well, and here is Ricardo.
Oh, he created. Oh, look at there. A little
created these Legos, this was when he was the director of this Center for Independent Living in Raleigh. So there's that one. And then, oops.
Oh, there's me.
So there's that one. And then, of course, here's the other one Dave shared. So maybe next year, Peggy, we can have people. That's Chris, not Ricardo. Sorry, I got that messed up.
Yeah, that's what, when you said Ricardo, I thought, I don't think so, but.
And here's Dave Wickstrom as Lego Man. Boom. There's Dave. Now you know what Dave looks like. So don't look at that picture with a parrot in it, folks. He really looks like the Lego. So that's what he really looks like.
Let me take his name off of here. Okay, there we go.
That's right. He doesn't look like the Lego person at all. Alliance of Disability Advocates. So that was his Center for Independent Living that he was director of. So there's Wacky, Dave Wickstrom, both with parrots and with Legos. So that'll be next year's. Stop sharing. Here we go. So thank you, Dave Wickstrom, for being here in person, as well as sending a shout out here. Imani's in Virginia.
Woohoo!
We got Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina. We got the East Coast Day today.
Wow.
Yeah, we do.
Anybody in Maine out there? Nothing against these other states in the Atlantic Seaboard, but Maine, picture of a moose. We digress, Dr. Kimberly. Let's go back to Invest in Ability 2024.
So I just want to know, how are you going to top 2024? I mean, it was just the whole Lego, us all coming together. And as I kind of meandered around and I was looking at the different tables just to see people coming together and building. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Lincoln Logs. But anyways,
oh my gosh. I remember when my brother wanted those for Christmas one year and we got them. Oh, those were fun.
Oh, they were terrible fun. It is, yeah. And we don't try to top, we just try to continue.
Yes.
And so, who knows? They might be backed by popular demand, because my Legos are over here in a box that Peggy's team put them back together. They're going back to my attic, so I'll know where they are next October for November, whenever we have our date for next year. We don't know quite yet, folks. But be ready to put it in your calendar when we announce it.
A good time was had by all.
It was. Now, the part that I like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, here's Dave. He says next year's fundraiser is going to be absolutely phenomenal. People are already saying it's going to be the biggest, the best ever, something truly special. We're planning things that no one has ever seen before. Truly a tremendous.
I don't know who this Dave B is, but maybe that's Dave Wickstrom's middle name, and because things never seen before. Yeah, all those people that don't work for Ringling Brothers anymore, we hired them. We're going to have a.
I was going to say we can do that from the ceiling of the gym, right?
Accessible. Dr. Kimberly, I know you've always wanted to be on the trapeze or the high wire.
I can do that.
Oh, Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
Folks, Cirque du Soleil.
And somebody could just toss me into my chair,
That's right.
All right. Well, I'm going to say you start practicing that, Dr. Kimberly, because I'm scared of heights. I'm just going to say it. But you have never, truly, things people have never seen before. Dave Wickstrom.
This is going to be so much fun.
Can we get a better, checker on these folks that are making comments? These people are riling us up, Dr. Kimberly.
You know what? I tell you what. Do I have to do them like I have to do Heidi? Heidi, we will not share that today.
Oh goodness. But I mean, we truly, again, that's what my perspective is not a good one, in the sense that I hide my nervousness well. So in my nervousness, I'm just like not aware of fully what's going on. I knew it was a great event. However, people were, again, the great compliment that a community partner said, where it was just so on point for our mission. You know, nothing, again, this isn't to say other people are off point. However, we're on point. We're talking about our mission. We're celebrating our mission. You know, we had the hometown heroes there. So a group of young guys at East Grand Rapids High School. Shout out to the Pioneers.
I do think I have a picture with them.
Yes, I know there was one.
Yes.
From the event?
Yeah, you and I took a picture together with them from July.
Oh, yes, at ADA celebration.
Right.
Yes.
So they have a couple of family friends who were wheelchair users, and they're like, they dress up as superheroes and they go to kids' parties and other things. They come to our ADA celebration. They've raised over $5,000 that gets contributed to disability advocates. So they're having fun, raising resources for a great organization.
And making a difference.
Yep, making a difference. So we put a spotlight on them. Our 3 Discoverability Award winners, so 3 youth with disabilities that are making a difference. Our own Jess, who often is watching the show live. Jess is an awesome front desk volunteer here at Disability Advocates, works at Special Olympics Michigan, is one of their ambassadors. She was an award winner. Gabe, who Peggy and I got to go to Wyoming High School last Wednesday to celebrate with his classmates. So Gabe was here making a difference in his high school, teaching other students about inclusion by living inclusion and challenging others and being included. So Gabe, and then Daniel, who's up in Sparta, Michigan. I got to get up to Sparta, Michigan, because he's doing stuff with greenhouses and getting young folks with disabilities excited about life working in a greenhouse. Dave Wickstrom, I don't know if you were here when you flew over Grand Rapids on your way in, if you saw all the greenhouses, but we got a lot of dirt under glass, as they say. So we have a lot of greenhouses. We grow a lot of stuff here in West Michigan. And there's a really cool outfit in Jackson, Wyoming, that has a vertical greenhouse that is totally staffed by people with disabilities. And Jackson, Wyoming has a lot more snow than us. So they have a lot smaller growing season, but they grow vegetables year round for the restaurants in Jackson. And so it's real jobs for real people. And it's awesome to see Daniel's already doing that in West Michigan. So it's just three awesome young folks who are already, they've discovered their ability, so that's what that award is about. And we gave the full shout out at Wyoming High School. It was former Mayor George Hartwell in the city of Grand Rapids that challenged us to create that award. In fact, because we asked him to be our Invest in Ability Award winner, and he said, I'll only do it if you start a youth award. Because he asked, do you have a youth award? And I said, no. And he said, well, if you don't have a youth award, I won't accept the award. So we created Discoverability, and that's been a great success. So lots of cool recipients through the years. In fact, Dominic, I saw at another event, he's still working down at Mary Free Bed. Great young guy working at Mary Free Bed. And there's a young woman that whose first name I'm forgetting. She was a student at Grand Valley State University, go Lakers. And she was about helping students with disabilities study abroad, because there's enough challenges to studying abroad. You throw in a few disability needs, and sometimes that place called Europe isn't as accessible as one would want it to be because it's old. So anyways, great award winners there. Yeah, we had Keegan and K-Rock.
Yep, K-Rock, Keenan and Keegan.
Keenan and Keegan, they are two young men who have autism that they've been the hit of our last two ADA celebrations. They're a cover band and they are fantastic.
Yes,
They are so good. They won the Discoverability Award 2 years ago.
It's now 35 minutes after the hour, and we want to say thank you so much for tuning into Rolling on the Road with Dr. Kimberly and Dave. And today we're talking about the history of Invest in Ability. This is my 10th year being associated with Disability Advocates of Kent County, which is a center for independent living, or in your area, it may be called a disability network. And it was 8 years ago that I was the impact speaker for the Invest in Ability dinner. And we are going to find that footage. I think that maybe part of it for the end of the year, maybe we'll kind of do some memorable moments as we go into year 5. And if you are watching via GRTV 25, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I get an opportunity every week at church. All the church members say, we see you on television. So I know that you guys are watching, and others, when I've been out in the community, said that they have seen me on GRTV 25. So I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today is Tuesday, and it is the 19th of November, and Peggy is looking for snow to fall soon. She's excited about that. As you can see on her face. And we want to say thank you so much to Artie Franklin for tuning in, and to Dave Wickstrom, Dr. Vertaji, Pat Windley, Sandra Sanders, and we have Imani Belk, who is new, tuning in from Virginia, and our top, as Facebook would say, our number one fan, all the way from Bel Air, Maryland. Whoop, whoop. Miss Shayna Thomas, we appreciate you. But we have this wonderful video that was shown during the Invest in Ability. Is this video the reason why you chose them? Well, I guess I should say first, how do you choose those businesses that will receive Invest in Ability award?
It's always been, well, first and foremost, Peggy has done a fantastic job in growing the event, her and her team. And one of the secrets of her success, in addition to having a fantastic team, shout out to Ashley, Courtney, and Michelle.
Hey guys.
And Danielle. So we have a fantastic team with Peggy. Is the past couple of years, Peggy has put together a stellar planning committee. And so that planning committee, just has been fantastic. And it's been good through the years. We've had a lot of good help. And so I remember one year when we've given the Invest in Ability Award to the Rapid, which is our public transportation authority here. And so that was a suggestion from a planning team member years ago. We gave it, City Grand Rapids. 2023, we gave it to Steelcase Corporation for their continued investment and even more.
You gave it 1 year to Meyer.
We gave it to Meyer,
Jack Lote Theaters,
to John and Mary Lokes. So They are the founders. Or actually, it was John's dad who started what's now Celebration Cinema, Studio C, Studio Park. Their son JD and daughter Emily are really running that business now. I'm pretty sure John has earned his retirement. And they're doing cool things in downtown Grand Rapids. All that being said, Mary Kay Hood, who's a person with a disability, she started Kids Food Basket. She was our volunteer coordinator long ago. She's done tons in the community. Mary Free Bed Guild was our original recipient. So the Mary Free Bed Guild, where most people don't know that Mary Free Bed Rehabilitation Hospital is actually owned by this ongoing group of women. The hospital is over 100 years old. And so the Mary Free Bed Guild has, again, sponsored us directly as disability advocates, but in addition to owning that hospital and continuing to grow it and invest in it. But Kate Pugh Walters was our second recipient. And it's important to note that these are not lifetime achievement awards to say that, oh, you're at the end of your impact. Thank you. It's like, no, it's just marking your impact till now and wait till you see what's next, you know? And so like Meyer Corporation continues to do great things with people with disabilities. Steelcase continues to do stuff. City of Grand Rapids. So again, when you look at our award winners, they continue to push that forward. And so, you know, our planning committee actually a year and a half ago came up with Steelcase and then Mike and Sue Damstra, Deb Damstra as the recipients. And because of scheduling, Steelcase got it in 2023 and Mike and Deb received it in 2024. And so now the committee will have an opportunity to brainstorm 2025's recipient. And kind of coincidentally, there's a cool picture of Dr. Kimberly and Mike and Deb. And it was that it's like 1 year as an organization and the next year as an individual or a couple. And so that's been our back and forth. Actually, 2 years ago, we gave the award to Cam Young and Angela Nelson. They were the co-chairs of our capital campaign. So they were fantastic in helping us move into this space and do that fundraising with Peggy's help. And so, yeah, those are the kind of people we celebrate. And Mike and Sue, why do I keep saying that? We know a different couple that Mike and Deb. I'll say Deb and Mike, and maybe I'll say it right then. Deb and Mike through CareLink. And the funny story they told of because when they started, it was just kind of them, you know, and they were starting this durable medical equipment company and more. I mean, it kept growing. And their one driver of their delivery vehicle lost his license for a little bit. And Deb said, well, I can drive as long as this guy tells me where to go and he jumps out and drops things off. So she was a driver for a while. That's what you do when you're a small company. And Peggy, how many now employees did you say they have?
Over 800. And it was started 27 years ago and actually started in their laundry room. So Mike kind of came home one night and said, you know, I quit that other job. I know we can do better for people and serve people better. So I'm starting my own company, you know, and December 1, they did that out of their laundry room. So I'm sure Deb had a couple of deep breaths, but that's what you do. And here it is now. Yep, over 800. They're in several states and just really do a great job serving people who have needs.
You got the video ready?
I do. Let me fire it up here. Share screen.
It's such an honor to celebrate what Mike and Deb did.
Debbie Danstra are just amazing people. They are just really special people. They're incredibly giving, willing to help people out. They love people.
They have constantly been giving back to the community.
Their commitment and work in West Michigan and beyond cannot be overstated.
When you think about the Damstras, you know that their name is synonymous with Carolyn.
The work that they do with us is fantastic, but I would imagine we're a tiny portion of Carolyn's impact in the community.
That's always been really impressive to me that someone can grow a business the way that you did, affect so many people, and also be able to say yes to individual requests as well.
And I've seen it firsthand so many times when the Damstras will go so far above and beyond for an employee. It seems like the employees have always really come first. To be able to work for somebody like these two that just care about every type of customer that Carolyn has is just phenomenal, because they do care about all of our customers, all of our employees, all of our referrals, and they just have a heart of gold that I don't know how you could work for anybody else.
You try the best you can to try to hire people that really care about what they're doing. It's just not a job. And as you get bigger, it gets tougher, but we have some phenomenal people that make this all possible at Carolyn.
That's just the culture that it is there. We look out for each other.
You know, the culture is one of care through and through.
And it's not like if there's a need, if there's a disaster, if it's individual or if it's global, times of tragedy or emergencies, or they just don't think about it. It's not about a cost. It's about what can we do to do more, to give back, to help you yesterday if we could.
We're doing this for others. There's so much more to do, so much more impact that we can make, and that's just something that they've kind of ingrained in us since we were kids. And the cool part is being able to pass it on down, having kids in upper management that are really good, just really rewarding. It's kind of our responsibility to give back and help wherever you can.
The give back that is in their blood, it's trickled down. That we're told their kids, you've got to give back. You need to be good for the community. It's just something that they do.
It's pretty rare to see multiple generations take on kind of that mantle. It is impressive.
You don't do it for the recognition, you don't do it for the honor. You do it because it's the right thing to do. I guess we learned from the best, and having that instilled in us is character. It is something. We don't deserve anything. We're just doing what we do. So this award is two-part. It is both honoring and recognizing the partnership we have, and it's looking at the much larger impact that these individuals and organizations like Mike and Dad have in the West Michigan area. You know, we consider ourselves very fortunate to be, recognized for this award, this honor. Disability advocates, really is on the forefront of all the stuff that's going on, and we're just a little piece of, helping them make this whole thing work.
They do it because they love this community, because they believe in helping others, and they don't do it for themselves.
I've seen you take great pains to find a way to make and help people.
They're the type of people that they're the angels. They're just there. They're simple. They support you. And they just do whatever they can to help in that moment, just to make your journey be okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you both.
I love you, Mike and Debbie. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you for your heart. Thank you for who you are. And thank you for believing in me.
There you have it, folks. Our 2024 Invest in Ability Award winners. Mike and Deb Damster. I was thinking that.
Ronnie says, what are the
we'll
requirements? What are the requirements and qualifications for receiving the Invest in Ability Award? I know some organizations who are worthy of it.
It's, to say that we don't have a formal list of qualifications. Definitely let us know, Ronnie.
Yeah.
When you're here Friday, or toss me an email to say, here's the organization or the individual and here's why. I was thinking, because technically, this award was given to Deb and Mike. So maybe in 10 years, Peggy's successor and my successor can give the award to CareLink. Because again, but that being said, it's we're going to have to post the list. I know I have it somewhere who have won it through the years, and I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but we just have a lot of now community partners to how to say it, who are worthy of that recognition. I mean, people are truly ramping up their efforts, pun in.
Is it just me?
Peggy?
Are you
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
Peggy?
No, there, he's better now. No,
are we
was,
live?
yeah, you're okay now.
Yeah, you were
Okay.
being a robot.
Yeah.
R2D2.
Okay.
And the video was R2D2 as well. So
Yeah, it was, but they got the gist, right?
yeah, they did.
Oh, the video wasn't.
It was
the video
no,
wasn't good.
no. It ran
Oh,
sometimes,
you should
and
have.
then the
Oh, sorry. You
video-
should have told me that.
video was before the audio, or vice versa, or
Do we
whatever.
Do we have the video up on our website somewhere, or one of our social
Probably-
medias?
Probably not yet, but we will soon.
Cool, because then we'll make sure we put the link out to everybody. Sorry for those technical difficulties. It's probably my cutting edge technology computer. But anyways, a lot of folks who are definitely more than worthy of an Invest in Ability award from us. Let me just do one quick shameless plug, because here's something we announced, speaking of awards, at our event, that here you go, folks, and we'll have more than one of these awarded next May, the inaugural Beeler Young Achievement in Inclusive Design Awards. And the cool thing you can see there, and of course this was my rough version, Peggy's team made it look better, but it would take me too long to find it. Anyways, that Beeler Young company, huge supporter, huge credit for helping to start our Absolutely Accessible Kent project almost 10 years ago. And
it's been that long?
It's almost been that long. I mean, this was our 6th annual workshop, and we talked at least 3 years before that first workshop. And so these awards are going to be given out in conjunction with AIA Grand Rapids and the Kendall College of Art and Design. So it's got some oomph behind it. So look for that. That will have some better criteria and qualifications to win these awards. But that's a quick shameless plug for news in January, giving awards in May, because we want to put the spotlight on people that are doing fantastic work to build inclusive environments, as well as to create belonging spaces and events and communities for people with disabilities to live their own self-directed lives. So that's a long answer, Ronnie, to say people pitch different organizations and people, and the committee says sounds good. So that's that. And what was my other? Hey, Peggy, you just sat there so patiently listening to Dr. Kimberly and I go back and forth, back and forth. You haven't really gotten 2 cents in, but folks, before I turn it over to Peggy for 2 cents, tomorrow night, Peggy wins an award. I'm sorry for disclosing this, Peggy, but other people have said it publicly. Peggy might be over 60, and
Just
the
barely.
Senior Neighbors, one of our great partners here in Kent County, Senior Neighbors, their event is 16 over 60, and Peggy is one of this year's recipients.
Yes, I saw that.
So tomorrow night we'll be at Meyer Gardens celebrating Peggy and 15 other people over 60. So it is awesome, so well deserved for Peggy. Like I said, she's put together a solid team, put together an awesome planning committee, and she kind of every once in a while grabs me by the ear and gets me. I'm going to say everybody needs a challenge. You might as well be your boss. I'm just saying.
That's right. That's right.
So, Peggy, what do you got to say about Investability 2024?
Well, I guess one thing I was thinking that we didn't really talk about, the theme of it was building stronger and building stronger communities and building stronger inclusivity, and which is where the whole Legos came from. So each of the challenges, again, was how do we build a stronger community? So there were 400 people there that night eating dinner with us and thinking about how to build stronger. So that's always a good thing. And they left shortly after 8:30, and hopefully still will be thinking about us, for the next couple of months, because it's everybody's job to make our community as inclusive as we can. So
is that the largest number you've had so far, Peggy?
I believe so, isn't it, Dave? Yeah.
I do believe it was a record. How many dinners did we order?
We served 403.
403.
Yeah.
So the good news is we still have room for growth here, because we weren't here last year here at the Special Olympics campus because they had construction, but 2 out of the last 3 were here. And maybe the next one, maybe the next 2 will be able to be here. But if we when we continue to grow,
we'll grow out of it.
We're going to grow out of this space. And so hopefully we're able, we could probably fit 600 in there, couldn't we, Peggy?
Yeah. If we moved, we've already talked about, we had, the drawing at the back, not a silent auction, but that type of thing. We had that back there. All that stuff could get moved out in the hall, and then we could move the stage and everything closer to the bleachers. So we could move it. We don't want it too tight. What was wonderful, I thought about that night, is there was lots of room between the tables for everyone, no matter what type of mobility you had, you could easily get between the tables. And that's important too.
That was nice. Ronnie said, did the Go Bus get the award as well, or just the city bus?
Well, it was kind of both, for the Rapid for all its work in helping folks with disabilities, because a lot of people with disabilities use Mainline and Go Bus. So it was for all of the services they provide.
Yay.
So yeah, folks, as Dave Wickstrom was quoting this person named Dave B, next year is going to be the biggest and the best ever. So we'll get some good shameless plugs out there as the fall of 2025 rolls forward. But we got so much fun coming up, Dr. Kimberly. Disability Awareness Day will be in March.
Yeah.
We're going to do some follow-ups to the housing conference. ADA celebration will be next July. And then Absolutely Accessible Kent in May, when those awards will be given. And then we'll be back to Invest in Ability time. Holy mackerel, Peggy, I'm tired just thinking about it.
I know it.
So,
Thanks for bringing it up, Dave.
Well, Amani says, how can I help?
Well, Amani, let's talk because we always can use help no matter where you are. So let's talk. And I don't know, Dave, is your email address somehow associated or should I give mine or what? But Amani, I'd love to talk further with you.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. What's your email is Peggy
.h.
Yeah.
At DAC.us.
.h at this Kent County.us. All right, Ronnie says, great topic today. And there you are, Imani. I will find you also. Oh, Jessica says, love. Congratulations again, Jess.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Well deserving.
Again, if all else fails, head to our website, www.dakc.us. I think that scrolls under my name. And if you send it to contact, our front desk people get it to the right people. So you can always find us. Reach out to Dr. Kimberly on her various cool social media platforms. Find us. And as Peggy said, we can always use help no matter where you're at.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll make the connection to today. It is now 2 minutes after the hour.
Holy mackerel.
Thank you so much for tuning in on today. This is a subject that we could go on and on and on about how to invest in ability and the effects that it has on the lives, that it touches. Definitely mine has been touched. And because mine has, now yours has. We have had a lot of the East Coast on today, which we greatly, greatly appreciate. And tomorrow I will not be here. I'm going to go back and rest. As you can see, these little shiny things, I have staples in my head, and it's just been a little bit to talk because it's pulling. So we'll see you on next week, regular time, Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, no, because it's Thanksgiving, so I get to rest a little bit longer. So this is it until the following week. But we will see you, which that would make it like the first week of December.
December 3, folks.
3 and 4. So we'll see you then. All right, guys, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Imani, I will reach out to you as soon as we end this live stream and get you connected. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Artie Franklin says blessings. Blessings to you too, sir.